They were feared in the underworld, respected in prison, and now, they wear suits in parliament. Kunene and Gayton McKenzie's journey from hardened criminals to political power is one of South Africa's most unbelievable true stories. But how did it begin? And why is their brotherhood now facing its biggest test yet? Kunene and Gayton McKenzie were once behind bars. Today, they are among the most talked about men in South African politics. They went from wearing orange prison clothes to wearing suits and making decisions that affect millions of people. But how did it all happen? Who were they before prison? How did they get out and become rich and famous? Today, why is one of them being investigated in connection to a murder case? In this video, we take you through the full journey of Kunene and Gayton. This story is full of drama, friendship, crime, power, and even betrayal. Stay until the end. Kunene was born on the 21st of October 1970 in a small mining town called Odendalsrus in the Free State. He grew up in a poor but hard-working family. His grandmother was a midwife, and his mother was a preacher. Even though life was tough, Kunene was very smart. He went to school and later became a teacher. He taught English and history at a high school. But Kunene had a wild side. After school hours, he ran a shebeen. He sold alcohol, and people say it was always full. But Kunene wanted more money. This led him down a dangerous path. He got involved in fraud and even ran a Ponzi scheme. He made people believe he would double their money, but it was all a lie. In 1997, the law caught up with him. Kunene was arrested and sent to Grootville prison in Bloemfontein. He was sentenced to 6 years behind bars. That's where he meets Gayton and everything changed. Before we proceed, we kindly ask for your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Your engagement helps us to grow and continue providing valuable content. Thank you. Gayton McKenzie was born on the 10th of March 1974 in Heidedal, near Bloemfontein. He grew up in a tough neighborhood. His family didn't have much, and crime was all around him. Gayton fell into that life at a young age. He became a gangster. By the age of 21, he was involved in serious crimes, bank robbery, hijacking, and theft. He was caught and sentenced to 17 years in prison and taken to Grootville prison, the same place where Kunene was locked up. Gayton says he was not afraid. In fact, he quickly became a powerful man behind bars. Inside Grootville prison, Kunene and Gayton met for the first time. At first, they didn't know much about each other. But very soon, they became close. They were both smart, bold, and had a gift for talking and leading people. Gayton McKenzie says prison was hard for most inmates, but not for him. He says he lived like a king. He had better food, clean clothes, and even controlled what other prisoners did. He said, "I never ate prison food. I lived like a boss." Kunene also made a name for himself in prison. Even though he was in leg irons at one point, he was organizing events. He brought music, food, and even entertainment to the prison yard. Some people say Kunene even threw parties inside prison. Together, they were powerful. They became like politicians behind bars. Other prisoners respected them. Even the wardens knew who they were. Their friendship became strong. They promised each other, "When we get out of here, we will never come back. We will change our lives." Both men were released around 2003. Gayton came out first. He had exposed corruption in the prison system by secretly helping record prison guards taking bribes. This helped him get an early release. Once he was out, Gayton became a motivational speaker. He told his story in schools, churches, and business events.
Whoever wants to kill me can kill me. And then the war started. The 28th, and everybody now wanted us dead.
People paid thousands to hear him speak. He also wrote a book called The Choice. It became a bestseller. Kunene joined him outside, and the two started doing business together. First, it was seafood. Then they opened clubs. One of their most famous clubs was called ZAR. It was fancy, expensive, and wild. Kunene became famous for serving sushi off the bodies of half-naked women. This made headlines. People called him the Sushi King. They made millions. But not everyone liked their style. Some called them flashy. Some said they were still criminals pretending to be businessmen. But Kenny and Gayton didn't care. They were rich, and they were getting attention. And do so many businesses, making millions of rands. In 2013, Kenny wrote an open letter attacking then-President Jacob Zuma. He said the ANC was corrupt and had lost its way. Soon after, he and Gayton launched a new political party, the Patriotic Alliance. Gayton became the president. Kenny was the deputy. The party focused on fighting corruption, protecting South African jobs, and restoring dignity to poor communities, especially colored communities. Their party started small but slowly grew. They were not afraid to speak their minds. They said things other politicians were too scared to say. In 2022, Gayton became the mayor of the Central Karoo district. He worked hard and made headlines again. By 2024, he became the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture. Kenny, on the other hand, became a member of the Johannesburg City Council and was later made the MMC, Member of Mayoral Committee, for Transport. From prison to politics. What a journey. Even as politicians, Kenny and Gayton remained close. Gayton once said, "Kenny is the brother I never had. He is the godfather to my children." They supported each other in business, in politics, and in public. When Kenny launched his ride-hailing app, Yuku Rides, Gayton was right there supporting him. They were more than friends. They were partners. But in politics, nothing stays perfect forever. In July 2025, a shocking story broke. The police raided a home in Sandton. That home belonged to KT Molf, a suspect in the murder of famous musician DJ Somebody. To everyone's surprise, Kenny Kunene was found at that same house. Why was he there? Kenny said he was helping a journalist get an interview with Molf. He said he was just there to guide. But not everyone believed him. The Democratic Alliance (DA) called his explanation laughable. Gayton McKenzie responded quickly. He said he believes in Kenny's innocence, but also said he must be suspended until the investigation is over. He suspended Kenny from all his party duties and MMC position. People are now wondering, is this the end of their partnership? Is Kenny in deeper trouble? Will this affect the Patriotic Alliance in the next election? Kenny Kunene and Gayton McKenzie went from criminals to leaders. They met in prison and built an empire outside. They became rich. They became powerful. They entered politics. They became symbols of redemption, but also controversy. Now, a scandal. I'm testing their brotherhood. Will they survive this test? Will Kenny come back stronger? Or is this the beginning of a fall? Only time will tell. This story is far from over. Kenny and Gayton built a powerful friendship in a dark place. Now they are in the spotlight again, but this time, the questions are harder, and the consequences are bigger. What do you think? Is Kenny telling the truth? Will Gayton stand by him forever? Can you trust men who once ruled prison to now rule a country? Tell us in the comments. Subscribe to the channel because the next episode will dig deeper. Thank you for watching.